Good morning, good afternoon, and happy Pride to all who all who celebrate. You probably have a person in your life who's out and celebrating, or
I
maybe
am with my lovely wife, my besties, friends. Listen, we're celebrating Pride. We celebrate Pride every day. Also, like Black History Month. Black History Month, I celebrate. I'm Black. Pride, I'm gay. So I'm celebrating all things. Women's history, I'm a woman. There's history. So, so all that is celebrate. Hope you're wherever your Pride, as long as it's not in Long Beach, that you're celebrating.
wow,
Because Long Beach got
people,
canceled.
it got canceled. But hopefully that means that the other ones in Southern California will be even bigger because
I hope so. There's some controversy, I think, in LA, or they're having like Paris
West
Hilton's
Hollywood.
mother be Paris Hilton's mother being the grand dame or whatever. And, I think she voted for Trump. So I think there's some things going on.
Well, there's two different ones. There's the big West Hollywood one, but West Hollywood is a separate city. So then there's the LA one that's on
LA.
Hollywood.
Right. So much to do, so much to think about. But yes, celebrating.
Yeah. It's
Right.
election week also in Los Angeles for those of
I
you. By the
voted.
time this goes
I
up, you'll have already needed to vote. But um,
I voted before. I'm in Mexico, full disclosure. I voted before I left. I hope everyone makes the right decision or a decision. There's some different people on the ballot. I think there was like 20 or 30 when I voted. I was like, how many people are really running for
20 or
governor
30
or
for
mayor?
what? Oh, for governor. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
you think governor's bad? You should look at the mayor race in LA
Yeah,
is
I'm not
also.
in LA. I'm not in LA, so I didn't get to see that. I didn't get the pleasure
Yeah.
of not
Well,
voting for whatever his name is. I won't say it.
I guess there is.
Spencer.
I guess you can put your ballot put it in a Dropbox up to 7 days after election day.
Yes.
So
Oh,
just
up to
feel
7 days
free.
after, and it's going to be
I think
counted?
so. I think so. Or maybe it's not a ballot box after 7 days. Maybe it's the post office. Double check, people.
Yeah.
Don't count on me. But
Don't count on
feel,
Jessica.
don't count on me. I just did my ballot today. But anyway, yes, Tanya's in Mexico. That's why her video to me, maybe it won't be when you guys look at it, it's a little grainy, but she's not in a hiding out. She was not kicked out of the country. She's there by choice right now.
I will say I wish. I will say. I wish
Girl,
someone
don't
would
speak that into existence.
can. We will have some conversations because I'll have to just go send for Leo and Gretchen.
So since Tanya's in Mexico and
Oh,
doing a little business and a little pleasure, we're not going to have
yes.
a super long episode this week because we
We
don't
can't.
want to take up her time. But there is a few hot topics we did not want to
We
let
did.
time go without addressing.
But I want to
And
say one thing before we go to our hot topics. I was part of a Black woman in San Miguel brunch yesterday, and it was fabulous. Finding community regardless of where you are, it's so important. And we have often talked about being in your fullness and finding community, particularly Black women. Listen, there's so many women I met yesterday. I swear I have all their numbers and they're texting me and we're having coffee. So I will say, when you're traveling, try to find your peeps. Try to find those peeps.
don't forget the Black men, Tanya.
There were several Black men, but it was a
Well,
brunch.
you
It
keep
was a
saying Black women, communities, all
Oh,
inclusive,
let me clarify.
all
Jen's
inclusive.
buddies, Jason, not Jason,
Buddies,
it just
not
buddies,
buddies.
her buddies, Daniel and LaRoyal are headed here on Thursday. So we were like searching. We need to find the brother stuff for her besties. So I support all people.
Good.
Anyway, there are some serious hot topics that we need to cover and via satellite. And I think the first one is Gayle coming out. Not
Girl,
in that way,
not
but
in that way.
it's pride. It is
Not
pride.
in a Pride Month way. Girl, Gayle said, look,
Trash.
uh,
It's trash.
I said what I said, and all I could think about was like, damn, what have she's obviously like had to see her ex because her children are,
She has kids.
35, 40 years old and they have kids and whatever, getting married, and obviously he's kind of still in their lives, but she came for next in that Call Her Daddy. If you don't know what we're talking about, Gayle did an interview with Call Her Daddy, really popular podcast, and I think what I've read is like she has shared some of this before. This wasn't like breaking news, but I think maybe just the way that the host was just asking her these direct questions, and she was like, "Okay, you want to know about how it happened? Let me tell you about the whole night. We're gonna walk through step by
Well,
step."
it reminded me a little of Lionel Richie and his wife and how she found him. I don't know if you know the story. Lionel Richie's first wife caught him in the act and beat him down. Now
Damn.
Gail was a little bit more like pulled together. She didn't beat him down, but what I love is that when you call your friend, when incidents like this happen, when your husband's cheating on you, you catch him and you call your friend and your friend's like, get that. There was definitely a lot of curse words and I appreciated it, but I appreciate the support she received from Oprah.
Yeah, it's pretty wild actually. But look, blessings to
Check.
her. I liked
Right.
I
And
like and
he
then her
apologized.
ex-husband.
He apologized, right?
Yeah, I heard he came out. He didn't apologize. Well, yeah, I guess he just said he just shared his side of it, saying like, "Look, I've been apologized for this, but also like I continue to, feel bad about the trash man that I am."
Okay. What happened is she caught him in the act. He decided to take the girl, wanted to drive the woman home. They were both married at the time. And then said, don't call, don't, was it like, don't, it was something about like,
It was
don't
don't
call
call
the
her
husband.
husband because
Right.
Gail was friends with this woman.
They're best friends, good friends,
Was
right?
she best friend? No, she wasn't best friends.
Good friends. I mean, it wasn't
Good
Oprah,
friend.
but it was like a good friends,
Right,
right?
right, right.
And basically he seemed more concerned about, his hot chick ass than Gail. It was very interesting. But you know what? But I think the whole point of it was she's evolved and she said, I'm in a different place. I can actually talk about it freely. And sometimes for women, they have to go through this and they come on the other side. There is life on the other side, and that's the whole point.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Gail. Oof.
Okay,
I mean,
y- your next hot topic.
Lizzo. Have you seen this new Lizzo Chili's commercial?
What I did see is Lizzo performing at the Sports Illustrated um, runway, and
Yeah.
Lizzo was Lizzoing.
No, Lizzo decided to take a Chili's deal, a brand deal with Chili's.
Is it baby back?
And
Wait, Liz, is Chili's the baby
yes,
back? Baby back? Okay,
yes.
I'm just asking,
And
asking for a
at the
friend.
beginning of the commercial, she even is like, she's on the phone with Chili's, like, no, I'm not going to do this. And then is like, okay, well, here's how much I need. And then next thing you know, she's like in the kitchen, dressed up as a Chili's chef, playing the flute that looks like a rib. Like then they just go like all the way with it. She's singing Chili's baby back ribs. She's got a choir singing with the ribs. Girl, she must have got.
Why?
She must have got. I would imagine this has got to be like $5-10 million gig. She had to have just been like, look, why not? They already talk about me. I'm about to do this, and what's the problem?
So she's a rib.
She's
She's a McRib.
playing a flute. She's
Rib.
playing a flute
Listen,
made of ribs. Yes,
listen. She is looking good. She can do that if she
getting her
wants.
coins. Getting her coins.
Listen. Other people, listen, you have to do singing, acting, dancing, and
Look,
maybe a Chili's commercial here or there to pay the
black
bills.
woman's plight. They're like, look, and she's like, and I don't look. I think because she's been on some like, why everyone's gonna talk about me anyway. So if y'all gonna talk about me, let me just make this money while I'm doing it.
Let me get
Now,
these ribs.
I mean, you'll find it and you'll share it on social so people can see it. It's also spoofy enough that no one's like gonna be. If you sit there and watch it, and you're like, I can't believe Lizzo did this. You're gonna be like, come on. It's obviously spoofy. Like Chili's went with it. Like they were like, okay, let's do it.
You know what? We're talking about them. We wouldn't be talking about Chili's ever if
Never.
Lizzo
Not a never.
wasn't playing a rib flute. So, I mean, I'm gonna
Yeah,
give it to her. She looks amazing. She's doing her thing, and I'm sorry, get your coins. So,
right.
let's talk about Venus, by the way. Venus is
And you
back.
put Venus, and no, she's not back.
What's
Serena's back.
Serena? It's Serena, sorry.
I even and
I didn't get them confused.
I'm leaving this in the
I
episode
didn't get
because
them
I
confused.
even
No,
put, I said
Serena.
she's mixing up black people,
It was an
mixing up
accident. It was
sisters.
I will say, at the Met
Because
Gala,
I think Venus is damn near 50. If Serena's 44, she's got to be 48. So I don't think she's
all I
coming back.
know is that Serena looked thicker and looked really healthy at the Met Gala. And
Thicker than
I
what?
remember,
Thicker than
well,
her in the past?
she's been looking real thin lately. And I thought to
Oh,
myself, when I looked at her, I thought, she's gotten that muscle back. I'm like, I wonder if she's coming back. And she's back.
look,
So
she
she's
said,
coming
give me that.
back.
And she's another black woman who's like, give me that endorsement money. I'll do what you need me to do on these GLP-1s. And then let me go get these
She
coins. Let me go
Ro.
get these
Hi, Ro.
coins for
Call
this
us.
playing these doubles in Wimbledon. I think it's Wimbledon she's coming back at. So go
Why
for it.
not? If she wins,
Why?
she wins. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Who
But
cares?
she's only playing doubles. She's not playing singles. I mean, that would be wild if she was coming back in singles. But yeah, she's playing doubles. It'll be interesting. So Taylor Townsend plays doubles and is like the reigning doubles champ. She usually plays with Catalina Siniakova. So we'll see. We'll see what she's gonna do.
Can't wait. I can't wait to see it. Um, I have been, I don't know, since we're on tennis, and I know you're not watching any of this, but I have been
Why? I watch
enamored.
tennis. I saw
Okay,
Naomi lost today
I'm not
and
talking,
Coco.
I will say, no, I'm not, I'm talking about Naomi, but I'm talking about Naomi Osaka, and I'm talking about the fashion that is
Yeah,
her.
yeah, yeah,
And then I'm also a little annoyed. People have been criticizing her. Focus on tennis, not fashion. But you know what she said is like she's feeling her expression. She's expressing
yeah.
herself in an artistic way. I've loved her spreads that she's been doing, the Vogue, the outfits. I just think it's fabulous. And I love that she's a bit quieter, but she's loud in her in another way. She's loud in her talent and she's loud in her fashion. And I love it.
Well, look, she's a shout out biracial queen. Because she is somebody that everyone tries to put her in a box. And at the end of the day, she is biracial with two very different cultures. She's is she Haitian or Trinidadian? Haitian and Japanese. Like she's said a million times how different her culture is. She plays for Japan in the Olympics
Right.
and or in I guess she technically plays for Japan in all of women's professional tennis, right? And she's talked often about because right before the French Open, she also hosted a dinner for all of the black tennis players on in the tournament.
Right.
And of course, people got upset. Why is it black people only?
Yeah.
You wouldn't allow this to happen if it was white people. And she came out and was like, it is white people. Like that does happen. That has been happening. Like that's not what yeah, you can't clubs that we used to play in are white only. Like so yes. And also I think she was like I, she's also been very open about saying like as a Japanese woman, she doesn't talk a lot. She doesn't like to do press conferences and talk a whole bunch. And like you said, her art and her clothing are her expression. And it's America who tries to force people out of those, like force people into a box and then yank them out of the box. It's like, let her live in her whole self, which
Exhausting.
is a biracial woman who's trying to bring both cultures together. Like, I'm here for it every day of the week.
You are, sis. I know you are.
Look,
Um,
you like, don't make me go on a whole soapbox about how biracial people
don't.
are
Let's not. Let's not.
helping us all understand ourselves better and the world better.
Girl, don't
Shout
get
out to Barack
canceled.
Obama.
Don't get
If
canceled
I
today.
get canceled for speaking on why multicultural people are a blessing to us all, then cancel me, please.
We're all blessings. So
All lives matter. Did you just all lives matter me?
I did not. I support
Okay.
everyone. We love everybody. speaking of biracial, you did mention
Barack?
our only president. I'm excited about Juneteenth and the opening and the great celebrations that's happening. I didn't get my
You
invitation, but
get
I
your
am
invite?
planning a trip. I didn't get my invite, but I am a founding member. I hear it's absolutely fabulous. I hear it's so intentional, all of it. But yes, I am celebrating him being celebrated, and Michelle and the
The,
family. I
the,
think I'm gonna be so excited, and the person in office is gonna be so angry. So I'm gonna it's gonna be great. I'm
I
so
put his
excited about
name
it.
on it and then have to take it down 3 weeks
It'll
later.
be the Trump Barack Obama. I'm not
Speaking of
sure
Barack
that's
Obama, this is how wild the California election is. There's someone on the ballot for running for, was it for governor or was it for I don't remember if it's for governor or mayor. I think it must be for governor. Who really has his name down as Barack D. Obama Shaw? Come on.
because
Like,
he wrote. Did he write his name in? Is that really his name?
it must have written it in like in one of the like primaries. Cause I looked down and said Barack Obama. I was like, this fool. Like, why do people do this? Let me see. Yeah, Barack D.
Barack,
Obama. Look at him. He's
a
trending.
brother?
Another
Is
Barack
he a brother?
Obama is running for California governor. Jesus.
You know what? And some fool will fill it. Some fool will vote for him.
No,
Watch
I'm
him get
sure they
2%
will.
of what? Watch him get 2% of the vote.
I'm trying to see if he's named Barack D. He's more than one of 60 candidates running. And Obama Shaw legally changed his name from Cecil Shaw III more than a decade ago while in the U.S. Army Reserve, which he served in from 2008 to 2016. When I stand at attention and Barack Obama's picture was on the wall, I was proud. He made it happen for a person like me. You can just salute the photo, sir. You didn't need to change your name.
I'm not sure we needed all that, but you know what? We're gonna allow him his blessing. Give him his flowers.
He said he was the
Just don't give him your vote.
He said he was the catalyst. This is where you know someone either doesn't have a PR person, or has one that's not good. He said he was the catalyst that had me legally change my name. No, that's not the definition of a catalyst. You
You're just
took his
insane
name. It's
because you're
not
insane.
just it was a catalyst. Like, it was the first thing that made me think, you know what, I should do this. And
You're
it's the only
insane.
thing.
The only thing. And
I know.
your problems. If you are really listen, he's gonna be trying to get into stuff. Listen, he's been using that name for a minute. I just
Not
don't need
Barack,
him you
not Barack D. Obama Shaw.
needing him not to get into the office using that name. You can get into any other place with
Oh
using
God.
that Barack
You
Obama
know, as
name.
crazy as California is, you never know. We could have ourselves a problem.
Let's hope not. I'm just gonna give honorable mention for Jay-Z's hair because you have no idea what I'm talking about.
No.
I have posted a lot um, about the he did the Roots picnic concert in New York. He moved from what we normally know Jay-Z is looking at like this. That's what we normally know
And
he looks.
like
That's
the
him.
last what? And he's had
That's
that for what,
Norma.
like 20 years? Maybe
He's had it for
15.
20 years.
Okay.
And now he's sort of moved to a fro. I mean,
Okay.
I would argue he's also probably promoting um
Sacred.
Sacred. That's what he looks like now. That
It's giving like late in life, like hairband vibes.
it's a lace front. There's some joking about it being a lace front. I think he just combed it out.
I don't know. Why would he have a lace front? His hair must be so long.
Right, its hair's long. And so so they were like, I mean, if you look, I
And
mean,
he's never had bad edges, so why would he need a lace front?
no, he has good edges. He decided
Well,
to, I mean,
that's women hating on a
it
brother's
feels
hair.
pretty appropriate. I mean, he was flying it. He's like, it's Roots. It's him coming back. It felt authentic. He had things to say during his concert. I hear it was great. I hope they come to, well, I hope I'm there when he comes to California. But
How old is Jay-Z?
big 50,
Like 5,
yeah.
maybe?
So Jay-Z He is, I think he's 56.
Okay.
So, he's, listen,
Look, if you got that head of hair,
Beyonce was there. I will say one
I
thing. They were calling for Beyonce and he goes, she's not working today. He's she was in the audience. She was in the audience. She's like,
look.
she's not here.
He's
No,
if
just
he's
stop.
got a good head of hair on him at 56, and it's been if it's been locked for so long, I really do hope he's using the sacred hot oil treatment, and Miss Tina's doing the rice water wash for him because he's gonna need
You
some
know,
build.
Miss Tina handled that.
He's gonna need
Miss
some
Tina.
protein build back, and I appreciate that.
And made sure he had to cut it. He had to do some trimming. It looks healthy. But I think,
Blessing.
there's a lot going on. It's very, I love being in Mexico. I'm enjoying it. I'm just trying to avoid getting sick. You're headed on some trips.
Not really. Not some trips. I'm just going to overnight for somewhere, but I don't have anything else booked really until the summertime,
It is
which I
summer
guess the summertime
almost.
is in 2 weeks, but
Right, it's summer. So, what is your summer? Well, you have what trip do you have booked, Jessica?
going to Mexico with some girlfriends. That'll be in August.
Mexico.
I don't know where JCL and we gotta. I'm going to Vegas in a couple weeks, but of course that's for a game.
Asia?
Um,
I thought you were going to Asia or something, or you
it's
didn't.
on pause. We want to go to Japan when it's snowing so that JCL can snowboard.
Very
Which
important.
is not right now. And then where else? Oh, well, hopefully the vineyard. Trying
That's
to
a
get
top
that
priority.
going. Top priority.
Um, but I think I guess speaking of, the vineyard and all the other stuff, lately, I think podcasting, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of why we do what we do, but it's been incredible to see the amount of voices like Kiki Palmer, Michelle Obama, and their podcast, her and her brother. You think about Oprah. I mean, this is a medium that people feel free to really share, you know,
Yeah.
and I think we have felt freedom in it as well as Black women.
Yeah. Podcast has been something. I started listening to podcasts. Um, I was probably definitely an early adopter of podcasts. I started listening probably, I'm going to say like in maybe like 2010, 2012. I've been listening to podcasts for a minute. And I, started when I lived in New York because you're on the subway, you're on the street so much with earbuds in your ears. And I've just always been a shocker to nobody, dialogue person. I mean, I like music, but I've always been a dialogue person. And I think I've been thinking a lot about when we first started our podcast and why we
That's
started a podcast and the opportunities it provides, like you were saying. I think what's been so fabulous about it is even though we were like, okay, we're going to start this for Black women because we have shared experiences, I think it's also really opened up doors, not just our podcasting generally, to people to
yeah.
explore other people's lifestyles and really understand more about other types of people, like you're saying. I think it's funny. I listen Pride Month, shout out. I listened to the Handsome podcast, and I think I've talked about that before, but that's Tig Notaro and Mae Martin and Fortune Feimster. I feel like I've learned a lot about gay culture. I've learned a lot about trans culture. I've learned a lot about um, the differences of kind of growing up gay when you're now 60 versus someone who's 30, and the different like ways that they perceive things. It's just been a really nice just like entree point or opening point, low barrier for you to feel like you can dive in and like learn about different people. And I was just thinking about our podcast and thinking like, I'm sure we serve that for some people
I think
who
we do.
want to learn about, different things that we say or share. And I
Right.
like,
Those Black ladies.
and the other thing I was thinking about too is like, so I used to listen to my podcast on Spotify, but for no reason really. Well, in the beginning, I listened on Apple Podcasts, and I started listening on Spotify. And I recently just went back to Apple Podcasts, and I was looking at the top lists, and like you can't find a woman of color in the top, uh, give it, those change like every day, but like regularly a host, not a co-host, in the top 50 woman of color, not not there. Now Michelle Obama's podcast is climbing, but even she's not in the top 50, which is wild to say. Like
Even
our
Michelle,
most
even Oprah's? What about Oprah's
no,
podcast?
no, not in
And
top
is that
overall.
so it goes back to the question, I call me dad. You mentioned call me daddy,
Right.
number one.
Call. Yeah.
You Rogan, number one. Who,
The
we often
Daily,
talk,
the
we did,
Daily, New
right,
York
right.
Times, Ezra
We
Klein.
often talk about who controls these polls, who's going to be number one. And the other question is, though, who cares? Does it matter?
No, I don't
I
think
don't
it
know.
matters. But what I think's interesting is, so what I don't think, Black women are high consumers of podcasts.
Yes.
Now, back to me saying the whole thing about dialogue. I mean, I think Black women also culturally like this oral storyteller piece. We like to talk and we like to hear people talk, and that is a generalization, but it's also like cultural communicate. It's a principle of cultural communication. You learn that Black women tend to tell more stories than other types of women, right? So it's not shocking that we consume a lot of podcasts. But I think what's so interesting is like the amount of Black women putting podcasts into the world that other people are taking in. It's still looked at as like niche, right? Whereas all these white men telling at the top of these podcasts, I hadn't heard of half of these white male founder, CEO who talks to tech people who
I'm
are
sure.
doing startups, or motivational speak. There was one Black guy who I'd never heard of either, who's like motivational speaker, Mel Robbins, white woman telling you, how to live your life and say no to things, right?
Right.
It's all these, but those are looked at as like general audience, and
Why
a
are we
lot of these
niche?
Black contents are still niche, right?
Right. And it's funny because we consume a lot of podcasts. We are creating a lot of podcasts,
Right.
but still we are considered a narrow, we're still in this narrow
It's like, but
lane,
what you talk about is not for everybody.
which it
What?
is. I would
Right.
argue it is. I mean, I will think about the majority of the ones that we listen to. When you're talking about wellness, when you're talking about health, when you're talking about business, when you're talking about, I mean, those are general concepts, but just have a package that is packaged in a woman of color or a Black woman.
Right.
And
Right.
so, when you think about, I mean, I think about the people who listen to this podcast. They're not, they're not all looking like us.
Right.
The people will sometimes pop up and go, "I love your podcast. Why aren't you? Did you record this week?" I'm like, "Oh, okay," and I don't ask them. And I think when we originally said our tagline was "For, by, and about Black women," sure, but I think we evolved that, and we realize these are universal concepts.
Right.
And I don't feel like we're a niche market podcast.
Well,
I feel like
yeah.
I mean, we're just talking what real life in real life. And I think about the Joe Rogans and the Call Me Daddy ones. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel like those are niche to me. Are
Well,
those
I mean, for
really
us, they are.
universal?
I
I
mean,
mean,
no,
are
they're
they
not.
really
Of
universal
course not.
truth?
No,
No.
but that's the way that people look at them. It's like, um, you know, it's like two Black ladies candidly talk about XYZ. You're never gonna hear in Joe Rogan's like one
Two
white
white
man,
bros, brains on bros.
white bros talk about whatever. No, because that's like, because we live in a patriarchal society, one. So that, and then two, white men are, um, whatever. Stop right there. Um, yeah, I think there's a difference between like, okay, we felt like we had conversation and value to bring to other Black women, but it's not at the exclusion of other people hearing and learning about the story. Now, there is still a fine line, like you and I have talked about, of like, we are not your, um, don't listen to us and then, post on LinkedIn that you got a certificate in Black living, right? So it's like
At some point, but not today. We're not giving out certificates in Black women
right.
knowledge and
It's like, yeah, it's like, don't, and then
history. Whispers.
listen to us. We want to share our stories. We want you to understand our perspectives. We don't want to do the work for you also. So also don't call us
Right.
if it's like,
Yes.
we're not your Ask a Black Woman friends. But
Call a
I
friend
think,
and call us.
I,
No, no. But
like,
I
what was
do
that
think
show
there's something.
of
What? Wait. What? Call a friend?
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Yeah, yeah.
Millionaire. Right. Right.
Would you like to phone a black friend for that
To
answer?
ask them, what would if you touched a black woman's hair? What would happen?
Do you have a black woman you like to phone a friend?
But I will say that for us and myself, I think I enjoy the medium a lot. I think we have enjoyed the topical conversation. Girl, let's get on a mic. Let's talk about this because I know other people are talking about this. And sometimes it's just a random banter, maybe today. And sometimes it's a real meaningful dialogue that we're trying to bring to you. But I do think that you know, going back to the niche concept, I do feel as though, you know, and you mentioned it before, it's like talking to your friends, or
Right.
listen, or like having a conversation. I mean, that is how we started this. Girl, call me, and and we just decided to share our girl call me moments with y'all.
Yeah. Well, and I was reading a study the other day about trends in media. I'm not like
Right.
breaking news here. It's not hard to see that media and is moving further and further to let me curate exactly what you're looking for and serve you up that exact content and like,
That
you know,
algorithm.
and so maybe that's it. Maybe that's going to be really good for people like us in this space, and that's I think why podcasts are catching steam because when it comes to marketing dollars, you don't have. It's not this, it's not getting a production deal and getting on Netflix and whatever. I mean, we complain about not understanding how to get our cameras right. That's one thing.
Trust and believe.
Have some belief, but it's like this is kind of good for people like us who want unique stories now with that comes a whole lot of stuff that's not going to be so great for people who work in big media conglomerates who are part of the machine. But I do think podcasting is a nice medium to be able to get that type of like
Yeah.
exactly what you're looking for, right?
So I want to encourage people to, you know, this week, the next couple weeks, find a podcast that's of someone from a doesn't look like you,
Walk of life, right?
different walk of life, and sit there and listen to it. Sit there and listen to someone that does not look like you and hear their experiences
Yeah,
and try to go, you know what, we're not, and realize that we're not so different. We're not
yeah.
so
Are you going to do
like,
this?
yeah, I am. I mean, I might listen to Joe. No, I'm not. But but I'm not that I
Well,
will.
I
Let's
have listened
tell
to
me.
Joe before. I will have to
I
give it.
don't.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not. I
it's
mean, but
n-
no. I mean, I think we
preach.
should. I mean, I think both of us should try
There's
take the challenge. Take
yeah,
the we don't they don't look like us podcast
right.
challenge and
Yeah.
see what you learn.
Or take the okay, yeah, take the they don't look like us, or take the this person represents something that I know already makes my hair like stand up on the back of my neck and listen to that because we need
There you
more
go.
of that. Like we're in a world right now where we don't know how to have like we've lost the ability to have discourse because people are so polarized that it's like this is not worth my time to have a conversation with you because we'll never get to the middle. But a podcast is kind of a safe thing because you know that like you're
Right.
not going to get an argument with them. You're listening to one side and
No.
then you never have to listen to it again. I was actually looking at this dude who's like looks somewhat like a motivational speaker, black guy. And I was like, I can already tell this person like triggering to me. Like it's like it's giving MLM, it's giving I don't know
God.
what it's giving, but I was like, you know what? He's like he's the highest ranking person on today's top list on Apple of color. And I was like, I'm just gonna maybe listen to this and like get on a treadmill.
Give the brother a chance. Did you listen to it?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. So you're gonna listen to that.
I will.
I'm gonna find a good old White
Do
man
you? No, you
podcast.
don't like. I was gonna say there's so much murder, but you like that kind of stuff, so that's not.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've been listening to a few tech guys, but that has been more interesting. But no,
How about
I'm
this?
gonna
Oh my gosh,
what
what if we did this?
what?
What if you picked one for me and I picked one for you?
Oh, actually, that's ideal.
We're gonna
So,
do that.
so
We're gonna
I'm
do
gonna
that.
send you. Yeah, so I'm gonna send Jessica her podcast. Jessica will send us ours,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna share them on social. We're gonna share the ones that we actually picked, which are out of
Yes.
character for us.
Yeah.
And I'd love for you guys to share yours. I do think, as Jessica said, it is easy to just get to know another whatever from a podcast. Get to know another point of view, another, demographic, another
Yeah.
whatever. I'm going to challenge everyone to do it. And I think we're challenging ourselves to do it because we do stay narrow. And I think being narrow is not helpful to anyone.
And look, I mean, we'd be remiss if we didn't take this moment to just plug ourselves and say, if you know someone who needs some Black women in their lives,
Call us.
go ahead and send us over there. You don't even need to call us. Just text us, text our whole podcast over to them and say, look,
Right. Girl, call them.
Listen to these aunties, please.
Not aunties. Mm-mm.
Girl, half the time you love when we're aunties, half the time you don't like when you're aunties.
You never like when you're
I
aunties,
know,
but
and that's why I
but
just
you're
said
a godmother now.
I was trying to accept it. I've been godmother. Hey, don't. I'm 2 decades in the game.
Yeah, right. And you're a good godmother, I heard,
Yeah,
once through
girl.
college. So
Yeah,
blessings.
girl. Actually, shout out to my goddaughter, by the way. Shout out to my goddaughter who who I feel like I have rubbed off on because I hit her the other day, like how summer break. And in my head, I'm thinking she's probably at the crib, annoying her mom, like, watching TV. And then she hit me back at like 5 in the morning. I said, girl, I cannot believe you're awake. She said, oh, I'm in Jamaica. God, mommy. I said, okay. Here
So
you are.
she's living her best life.
Living her best life.
I want
Yeah.
everyone to live their happy pride,
Happy
happy,
Pride.
happy vacations. I hope everyone is finding vacation, sun. I got a lot of sun. And, do whatever you want to do.
Happy Commissioner's Cup for all of those who celebrate. Do you know what
Yes.
that is, Tanya?
World Cup, the World Cup.
Nope.
I'm
Commissioner's
talking
Cup.
about, well, I'm celebrating the World Cup that's coming in
Okay.
2 weeks, soccer.
Okay.
As a Jamaican, you do have to at least get your soccer card. I'm looking forward to it. I've seen some people fly in when I was coming here. I know LA is about to be on fire
Yeah.
with the World Cup. And so, lots of excitement. But you can tell
Okay.
me, what is the Commissioner's Cup, Jessica?
This is a
Trick
WNBA.
question.
This is the
God.
WNBA in-season tournament. Games are starting now for the Commissioner's Cup.
I mean, we're on vacation, so we'll see. We'll see how much Jessica. Well, you and my wife have been chatting, so
I was just gonna say, I was like, just because you're on vacation does not mean she's.
I know
I
she
wasn't
was
gonna put her
not.
on blast
No,
because if she told you that she wasn't watching, I wasn't gonna be like, girl, I've been texting with
no.
her all day.
We have 2 TVs in this room. One wasn't working. She could not throw her WNBA on it. The other one, we had to call the front desk. Why isn't it TV? Why can't I see my game?
Amen.
Day one. That was day one.
Don't do that to my girl Jen in Pride. WN Pride. Come on.
It's a lot. It's her day. It's her day.
Support. Support.
Anyway, subscribe,
Subscribe,
listen.
share.
Happy June.
And
Happy June,
share
y'all.
our podcast.
Share.
Bye-bye.
Phone a friend.
Hey, it's Jessica. Thanks for listening to Girl Call Me. If you have something to add or a story to share, come on over to Instagram or Facebook and join the conversation. Also, make sure you follow and subscribe Girl Call Me. You don't want to miss when we release new episodes. Thanks for listening.